I do not pod with my mouth. He who pods with his mouth has forgotten the face of his father. I pod with my soul. And welcome to the swamp, our podcast that is an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And we're here with my husband, Hank.
Hello.
Thanks for being on the pod, Hank. We had to call in a special expert testimony because we can't do Stephen King month without talking about what is critically probably like regarded as the worst Stephen King adaptation to film, which is like really saying something because I think there's some really big stinkers out there.
Oh yeah, no, like Stephen King has been adapted so many times, and this stands out as the pinnacle of the worst. Like this is just like it's bad as a movie on its own, and it's a bad adaptation.
And it's a disservice to the source material, which is quite beloved. And I didn't know anything about this series at all. I didn't know that it existed. I didn't know really that Stephen King was so like interconnected. I think I knew like, you know, Carrie's powers are kind of like Shining, which is kind of like that book Firestarters. Like I knew, you know, Stephen King has major themes. That makes sense for someone who's written so many fucking books. But I didn't really quite understand that there was like an epic saga, like a magnum opus that like really tied it all together until you started reading them and you were telling me all about it. And I was like, this sounds actually wild. Like, why isn't there a whole movie series? And you're like, oh, but there is. And it's supposedly terrible.
Yeah.
And yes, and it is.
Yeah.
But so if you can, Henry, explain a little bit about like what the books are, because this movie is not a representation of even like the first book. It's like a weird amalgamation. They tried to do all of them at once. There was a big production like pushback, you know, like if the project kept changing hands of who owned the rights and stuff, and basically it kept getting like cut down and down until they were like, oh, it was originally going to be 3 movies and 2 TV seasons in between each movies, and it was like this huge plan, and then it just kept getting like chopped until they were like, we got to do the whole thing in a 90-minute movie, which by the way, longest 95 minutes of my fucking life. Oh my god, I had to pause several times to get up, and I was like, oh my god, there's still that much left.
Yeah, no, that was what I found most shocking, is that sitting down, it was an hour and 38 minutes tops, especially for how freaky it started getting, how fast, anyways. Give me the rundown, Hank, because I need a lot of backstory.
And that I can provide. So I will say my experience with these books is I listened to them on audiobook a year and a half ago at work. I was able to pay a lot of attention to these audiobooks because I was doing a pretty monotonous job at the time. So I don't want to, claim that I'm more literate than I actually am. I don't necessarily know how to read and write. It was read to me.
Of course.
I want to give that caveat.
As a man, I just want to clear up. I don't know how to read.
I cannot claim that kind of like I read a book.
No, but audiobooks are valid though. Audiobooks are so valid.
I got the story certainly. So
they're a great medium.
The Dark Tower books. Where to begin, right? So.
Well, how many are there?
So we got 7 in total.
7?
7 plus a novella. Between books 4 and 5, there's like a short story that was released in 2012. And like this is so for books that came out in 1997 and then 2003, Stephen King went back much farther. Like, after the series wrapped up in 2004. In 2012, he went back and wrote an interlude story.
Sure.
So that's where that 8th book comes from.
I find this interesting that he cranked out 7 books outside of his coked out phase.
Well, it interspersed in his coked out phase.
So what was the time? When did it start?
So the original Dark Tower stories were published in magazines starting in 1978. He was like releasing chapters at a time in magazines. So starting in 1978, and then in 1982, all of those chapters were collected into The Gunslinger, and that's the first book of the Dark Tower series. That's the one that, like, it famously starts with the line, "The man in black fled across the desert." And I didn't write the line down, but it's a very iconic line.
Sure.
The second book comes out 5 years later, 1987, The Drawing of the Three, and so I think it's important now to kind of draw attention to the story of the movie. So, like,
wait, I'm going to recap it in a minute for everyone, because nobody listening has watched this movie. This movie fucking sucked.
I
It
was
was
gonna
like
say,
2017. What a weird time. We tanked at the box office. I think it's culturally remembered by no one other than Dark Tower fans who fucking hate it.
and like the reason I'm
I was
struggling,
shocked that it was 2017.
Yeah, right. It feels like a 2009, right? Like, it feels like
That color grading, whoever color graded this movie deserves to be put down.
Well,
Like,
there's a lot about this movie you can tell is very like Frankenstein's monster. You know, none of it fits.
I mean, there was like $6 million in reshoots after the movie was totally filmed. Yeah, like I said, I watched a really great YouTube video. This guy really breaks it down. Eisenhart Productions. I got to shout him out on YouTube.
Link will be in the description below.
Check his shit out. But basically, let me pull up my notes. This adaptation is basically like trying to do like the whole Harry Potter series in one movie. Right, like that's like the closest equivalent I can think of. Right, that's also like
seven books.
Yeah. And trying to squeeze that all into one story. Like, it is like there's the aesthetics of the Dark Tower story is there. Like, there are some, like, they reference it, but it's never really like actually gone through and pulled through. Like, even Roland's initial like urge to go and find the Dark Tower, he's like, that's not his quest isn't to protect the Dark Tower in the book. It's to find and kill the Crimson King in the Dark Tower. So, like, even like his initial quest isn't the same as in the book. So it's
the character motivations here were really confusing. It was like he wants to kill Matthew McConaughey, but if Matthew McConaughey destroys the tower, it like unleashes evil on the world. But what does that realistically mean? Why does he specifically want to do that? We don't really ever learn, other than just that he's an evil sorcerer. Like, I felt like there were a lot of things that I could tell. I'm like, oh, I bet if I knew more about that, it would be really cool. Yeah. But we simply did not have the time. It was like the world building was so yada yada. It's like, oh, and there's a giant tank out in the desert that he just stumbles across. And like, was there a war here? I don't know, probably. We got to keep going. Right. We got to meet Idris Elba.
Yeah, nothing is explained, and everything almost, because it starts out with a dream sequence. So for the rest of the movie, there's a ton of other dream sequences intercut. And then the rest of the movie, also, you're like, wait, what's real? What's going on? Because nothing's explained.
Yeah. So I can give a full timeline here for the production of this movie, and I think that can inform the rest of our discussion here.
Okay. Yes.
This is like
it's a mess, right?
And it's
Break
like,
it down, Hank.
And it's so depressing. It's just like it's a decade of capitalist nonsense. All right. So check this out. 2007. J.J. Abrams, Carlton Cuse, and Damon Lindelof
lost.
Yeah, the lost team. Stephen King was comfortable was comfortable with giving them the rights to make this movie because Stephen King liked Lost.
No.
So in 2007, the Lost team,
and they fumbled it.
And they fumbled the bag. 2008, the following year, they confirmed that an adaptation was in early development, but J.J. Abrams was working on Star Trek, and Lindelof was still working on Lost. And in 2009, Lindelof was stated as saying that he just got out of like a long-term thing with Lost, and he didn't really want to get back into
a new relationship with Dark Tower. Oh my god, he's had commitment issues. And what the fuck did he do after that?
Right. Well, he was quoted as saying, "Well, probably if he got what he wanted, nothing." Right. But I don't know what David Lindelof is up to. But he was also saying that he's such a big fan of the Dark Tower series that he didn't want to be the one to do the adaptation because it's too much pressure.
He knew it wasn't going to be good.
He was going to crack. Yeah.
And I think it's because he saw that you would have to have an insane amount of star power and Hollywood pull to carry this idea through all the muck and mire, all of like the various producers tearing this thing apart, all the studio budget interference. We'll see that become a problem later on. But
so what was the vision at this point? Was it a full series or was it just like one movie? What were they pitching?
So Dara alluded to this earlier. In 2010, this is when all of those details are revealed. Universal is the one that's going to be to produce it. It's going to come out as a trilogy of films with 2 seasons of TV to bridge the gaps between movies 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3.
Okay.
Which to me, that sounds perfect. Like,
yeah,
I think that there's like a lot of flashback stuff that that would do really well in a season of TV. And the rest of the mainline books are tight narratives that would do really, really well in movies. I think that would be a really smart way to do it. But I also think that it's like you could do just a feature-length film for every book, and it would be awesome. But I'm also.
What about a season of TV for each book? You think would that work too?
Yeah, I mean, potentially, yeah. You could do it like as a long form series. I do like the idea though, because one of the books, I think it's like book like 5 or 6, Wolves of the Kala, is like a total flashback book. It's exclusively in Roland's past. It's about like a childhood story of his. It would be cool because it's such a pacing shift in the books to see that transformed as like, we go from a movie to a TV series. That I think would be cool.
I would be remiss, sorry to cut you off, but I would be remiss to not use this a segue as you were talking about TV related movie releases and lots of flashbacks. Last night we went and saw the Demon Slayer movie, which I have not ever seen the anime, but you have watched. And you were like, dude, this is going to be epic. It's going to be the end of the series. Like it's like going to be the movie end of this really awesome show that I like. And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds great. And then like we're in the movie theater, and then it did take like probably 2 hours into the movie that we were like, oh, this is not gonna be like, there's no way they're getting to the big guy they have to fight. Like it was basically just like 4 or 5 episodes of the TV show just cut together that they released in theaters. So it was like we were really building up to something, and I guess it did its job in marketing that it kind of made me want to watch the show. But I thought we were going to get some sort of epic smackdown for the crown, and that just simply was not the case. We got a bunch of flashbacks about why people had to learn the bug style breathing to fight the demons to avenge their father. Like,
so like I really should have seen that coming. Like I've watched the entire series and have somehow missed the fact that this is a thing that Demon Slayer does, that they release movies that are just episodes of the TV show. I just assumed, based on what happened the last time in the show, that the movie that comes out after that shit happens is going to be like...
Which was probably... that doesn't sound crazy of you.
I felt like I was making some reasonable assumptions, but I was, the rug was pulled out from underneath me as I was making assumptions. I do love that you bring that up because like probably opposite pacing, right? Every action that happens in Demon Slayer, every time they swing a sword, they flash back and they're like, oh my God. Like, all the other styles of thunder breathing, but I just know the first form.
And this has to do because we're cousins and grandpa always loved you best. Like, right. Yeah, right. And what in this movie, it's like, and Roland takes out his gun and shoots really cool and then puts it back and we just got to move on.
And we keep going and there's demons and we're moving and there's a universe outside our universe and we got to go. We just got to go. we have no time. And so watching Demon Slayer had me thinking because in the books, everything that they do is described in painstaking detail, almost like it's like a John Steinbeck book where like they're just like he's spending just like, pages and pages describing how dehydrated Roland is.
God.
Like, a lot of the challenges that the group faces in the book is how are we going to survive in the wilderness? We're running out of ammunition. It's like logistical problems that they have a lot of the time. Like they have this quest, but it's all just like trying to like problem solve, not dying in the woods or on a beach. which is all of book 2 takes place on a beach with things called lobstrosities. This is what they took away from you people. This is the capitalist machine took away your lobstrosities on the screen.
I was gonna say I need more about the
lobster
lobstrosity.
monstrosity is a lobstrosity.
Correct, and they take
That's so
awesome.
Stephen King. He's like main pilled. He's like, what if lobsters were scary?
in fucking book 2. Roland loses like a couple of his fingers, and he's bad at shooting with his main hand for the rest of the book,
because of
or
a
for the rest of the series.
lobstrosity.
In fucking book 2, dude, from a lobstrosity. This is what they took away from you.
Okay, yeah.
God.
So
That is rather disappointing.
Trilogy and TV seasons, but then obviously budget cuts, and then
Yes, so they got really rat fucked. So trilogy of films with 2 seasons in between, directed by Ron frickin' Howard, written by Akiva Goldsman. We're talking a couple of legendary. They would have slammed it out of the park. We're talking Javier Bardem as Roland.
Ooh.
that would hit. That would hit.
Javier Bardem as Roland.
He's
serious.
locked in, or they were just eyeballing him for it.
They were eyeballing him for it. This is still we're still in early development, but they were eyeing him. Aaron Paul was going to play another junkie character.
Oh my God, of course.
This is another detail. In book 2, we get 2 other characters aside from Jake Chambers that are like part of the gunslinging crew. Eddie Dean and this woman who has like several personalities. She ends up being Susanna Dean. But Eddie is like a heroin addict from the 1980s New York. And
Nice.
and it was 2017, so they were
Aaron Paul playing that guy from a mob connected heroin addict from 1980s New York. Aaron Paul's your guy. That would have been so much fun.
Bread and butter.
That would have been so much fun. They took that away from you. And
Again,
so
be mad.
budget cuts caused some drastic rewrites at this time. And basically it's Universal isn't making it because they keep pitching it. And in order to do this, you can imagine planning out for 3 movies and 2 seasons of television this early on. So expensive, right? The numbers we're looking at are crazy. This is like a 10-year project to do.
But this would have been such a fire investment for them, because I feel like at this time we're getting like the Hunger Games have just passed their peak, right? As a series, like everyone's still really high on YA dystopian shit.
You're snapping for something new.
And with your aging audience, right? You take all of these middle schoolers who are really into YA dystopian shit, and then when they're in high school, you make a fucking trilogy movie series that would have hit. I guess they didn't think so. The market said no.
Well, here's my question though: is like, how YA adjacent is it, Hank? Because that's very much the lens that they give us through this movie.
The main character has to be 11 because the audience is fucking stupid.
Exactly.
Explain everything to a kid whose mental health is being called into question, but actually he is correct. There is a portal under the city to the land. So if your parents are asking you to get help, you probably should run away, is what this movie is advocating for.
So I think there's a certain edgy quality to this, like that it has YA style elements.
It almost feeds me steampunk. Like for some reason, I don't know what it is. I can't quite place my finger on.
No, it was giving steampunk.
Okay.
It's a good read because in one of the books there's a steampunk style robot, like from like he's like a survivor of the apocalypse or whatever.
That's also a huge storyline that just gets glossed over. Like there are robot people working for the Man in Black,
right? Who kidnaps children. It's like a whole thing.
And sucks out their shine.
Yeah,
to blast the tower with.
So I think like a good example. Like as YA as the Dark Tower gets is Roland's son. So Roland has a child.
Of course.
And the circumstances of this child's birth is that Roland is seduced by a succubus at a shrine in the woods.
As one is.
He passes his seed, my man, into the succubus. So no, it gets so
that
terrible.
Is disgusting.
He nuts in a demon. That dude, I didn't write this. Okay, don't shoot the messenger.
Stephen King, like pinpointing what years the highs and lows of this series. You're like, how was he doing?
Literally tracking his mental health. Yeah,
he was on peyote for this one, dude. He was he was tripping. So
all right, so he's nutting in demons.
He nuts in a demon. That same demon swaps its sexual reproductive organs
As one does.
to be a woman, or no, to go from a woman from woman to man.
Man to man.
I see. So it goes. The demon goes from woman to man with Roland's seed up in there.
So the butt baby.
This demon fucks the. I said fucks like a middle school. I said fucks. I was like, can I cuss on this podcast? So the demon fucks the other member of Roland's gunslinging. It's called a quartet. It's like his group. So the demon then passes Roland's seed into this person that he's
Susanna,
right? The wheelchair bound civil rights activist from New York from like the 50s, I think, or the 60s.
Okay, one time we went on a long hike and we ran out of stuff to talk about, and I was like, "Can you tell me about those books?" And you were telling me, and I really I cannot believe this whole character. I can see why they cut this character because she's a Black woman with dissociative identity disorder. Yeah. So she switches between personalities, and her alternate personality is racist against Black people. Right. And that's her whole, but then the two personalities come together and converge at some point, right?
Right. So
she she gets cured of her mental illness.
It's like these,
but she has no legs, and she in front of a bus doing civil rights activism. This is where I was like, this is not real. I was like, there's no way these books are fucking real.
Shit's crazy.
Yeah, no one can see my face right now because this is a podcast, but my mouth has been agape for the last 5 minutes.
I'm not even done talking about the demon shit, too. Dude,
we haven't even scratched the surface. Okay, so she's pregnant with the demons.
Right.
We're talking about the seed.
The seed has not made its last stop just yet.
Oh my god, okay. So into Susanna, double amputee.
Right, double amputee Susanna. She also is a gunslinger. She's great. She gets then the developing fetus inside of her, because she has the egg now for this child, but it's been influenced by demons. Sure. Then gets faxed. Okay, it gets faxed into another sacrificial lamb type lady that works for the Man in Black.
Oh,
okay,
my God.
The resulting offspring is a spider.
Roland has a spider baby who got sent over the Bluetooth to the Men in Black.
Right.
Okay, sure. I'm going to roll with it. Okay, keep going.
In the books, spoiler alert, that's how the Man in Black dies, is Roland's fucked up spider baby comes out of the womb and then senses that Walter wants to manipulate him, and he immediately just I think the spider has the shine. The spider can he has the same he has magics.
The magics.
Magics plural.
Matthew McConaughey and his magics. His orb chamber, when he opens the closet to all his many orbs, and he the orb to ponder.
Dude, he takes out Black 13. That's from the books. He has hella orbs in the books.
Yeah, pondering them orbs.
Sure. I wish we got more orbs, honestly.
Okay, and I'm feeling some payoff because I hated the way he died in the movie. That was so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
He just makes a dude perfect trick shot and fucking double bullets him and gets him. That was not earned.
Dude,
no.
The first bullet that he fires is the one that's ricocheted, right? So he fires stay with me here. He fires the first bullet that travels in a straight line.
Sure.
The second bullet that he fires is the one that's shot diagonally and bounces off. So the one that he's shooting later on is traveling for longer, right? He should have reversed the order of the shots. Is what I'm saying making sense here?
Yeah, I think I'm getting what you're saying.
Stop the first bullet. So it's if he just shot in the wrong direction, Matthew McConaughey would have probably just used his magics.
I had a
except Roland is a little bit impervious to the magics. He's less affected.
Okay.
Yeah, no explanation.
in the line when Matthew McConaughey is like, he's always been immune to my magics, so I basically killed everyone he loves. Like, dude, what are we doing here? Guys.
You're like, that was an entire book.
That's a rough draft line.
You're like, that's, yeah, the writing in this was awful. You could tell 900 people had their pens in the pot. Okay, wait, so wrap up this timeline for me, will you please?
We're halfway there.
How can you? Yeah, really.
So last we left off, we were in 2010. Universal had the rights, but there were budget concerns. And so the movie just kind of fell into... it's already been in development hell at this point for 3 years, and now it's in like, who's even doing this thing? So this team of Ron Howard and Akiva Goldsman, they're going around trying to get somebody to make their movie. It gets picked up by Sony in collaboration with Media Rights Capital. Can you think of a more evil name than Media Rights Capital?
That's a square on the Monopoly board. And I get the Media Rights Capital. You pay tax when you roll a double snake eyes or something,
When Media Rights Capital gets your movie, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're dead. That's like, it's a company that's like, it's all right there on the tin. What we're going to do to you is like, we're telling you right up front. MRCs, there's the more common name. So after they're picked up by Sony, Akiva Goldsman writes a new script. Ron Howard is moved to a producing role, and the current director,
he's like, this is going to suck. I don't have time for this.
Correct, right? So
jumping
Ron
ship,
Howard,
men, women, Ron Howard.
Nicolaj Arcel, who ends up directing the movie, is now Nikolai. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh.
Probably if it ends in a J.
It does.
Oh,
Good
you know
catch.
who that is? The guy who directed this movie. Actually, he's the guy who wrote the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie.
Oh, the Fincher one? Or the Swedish one?
Yeah, he like made that movie. So that's all he had like done really. He like
okay.
I knew him from when I was invested. I was like, who the fuck is this Nikolai director? And then not much going on.
Well, so it's at this point too that
so they got someone with no experience to make this movie, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. And so this
I don't know him, so he's a nobody.
Exactly. So I mentioned that new script that was written by Akiva Goldsman after the 2015 acquisition. After they bring on the new director, another version of the script that is now almost totally different from the original.
Because now they're like, it's got to be one movie. Can you just condense the 3 movies into one movie?
Exactly.
We're cutting the TV shows. Don't even worry about. Don't do any flashbacks. Actually, please. And 90 minutes to media. What is it? Evil media conglomerate says it's got to be under 100.
Media Rights Capital.
Media Rights Capital
Looked at 3 movies and 2 TV shows and said, you can do one 90-minute movie. Fuck you and eat my ass, and you get $60 million. Fuck you. So at that point,
that's just what they had to pay Idris Elba. The rest were volunteers.
Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. Those are like, in 2017, those guys are.
They were so wasted.
Yeah, how the fuck
this film?
How the fuck did Matthew McConaughey get on board with this? I feel like, obviously he does not have a fantastic track record of movies, but he's a pretty decent actor, and this does not seem in his, like something that would be on his plate.
Honestly, if I was him and my agent was like, hey, you can be the main villain in this like mid-budget Stephen King movie, but like you can really ham it up. Like you can chew it up. No one's going to give you any notes. Go method, do what you want with the script, honestly, improv on set, like, whatever. I bet that's the scenario. Honestly, probably him and Idris Elba were like treated like gods on that set, and everyone else.
Sure.
Like, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. That kind of sounds like a nice paycheck for me if I'm Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I think like he's a great casting choice for Walter / Randall or whatever.
Randall? Did they ever call him Randall?
That's that's
his government.
So Randall Flagg is like the same. That's another. We can get into that. But like that he's also in The Stand and The Eye of the Dragon.
And the Man in Black is like the evil, malevolent figure. It's like when you learn that the Hat Man's name is Walter. That shit was so funny. The evil Man in Black stands in the desert.
It's like
Roland the gunslinger says, "Hey, what's up, Walter?" Like it just kills my boner.
Steven, what are we doing?
Did you refer to the Man in Black as the Hat Man?
The Hat Man.
His alias is
He's the Hat Man.
Oh man! So 2016 now. We finally get like a final cut of the movie. The shoot's wrapped up at the end of 2016. The original cut of this movie was really poorly received. And
Shocker.
Yeah, right. I mentioned those $6 million reshoots. The post-production on this was a nightmare, according to everybody. Basically, the way it was described is that media rights capital, again, right? Like, I'm shaking in my boots. My feet are sweating just thinking about these guys. So they're given like a bunch of unilateral power. Basically, they get like almost total control over like the script. They have like a bunch of veto power. Stephen King is now involved at this point. And he also has a bunch of veto power.
He's coming to mop up his mess.
Trying his darndest,
They're like, God, hey man, this is going to be embarrassing. Do you want to just come in at the end and just tell us what's really going to make it sting less?
So imagine you have two enormous companies who can't play nicely for whatever reason, both trying to fuck your movie. And that's like, that's the state of The Dark Tower here in 2016. And then it comes out, after like 4 delays, it comes out in August of 2017. It came out to a worldwide budget of $113 million.
It cost 60.
Yeah.
So they lost money. They definitely lost money on this for sure.
Right. So that's the story.
Damn, and if they had just given the Lost Boys the money up front, if they had just greenlit those Lost Boys
honestly.
up front, and we could have gotten 3 seasons of like an HBO drama style TV series and like well done movies. Damn. I think they took the Lostrosities from us. They did.
I think J.J. Abrams is a flake and a coward. And I think he would never commit to a fucking Dark Tower series. He doesn't have J.J. Abrams, I'm calling you out. You don't have the balls, pal, to do a Dark Tower series.
Wait, you know who does though? You know who said he was gonna do one is Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan. Yes.
No,
he's on his Stephen King rip. What? Do you not like Mike Flanagan? What?
I have
baby, what's the matter? I'm like Flanagan.
I have mixed feelings because I liked Hill House. I like his Netflix TV work. He's doing a Carrie right now.
Yes.
Once again, she's not fat, so I'm kind of pissed about that. I'm like, what's the point of doing it again if... Okay, never mind. But then I went and saw this movie that he made recently called The Life of Chuck. That's apparently also based off of a Stephen King.
Oh, yes. What? I can't believe you actually watched that. Tell me.
Genuinely, I considered walking out of the theater. I don't ever leave the movies because I'm like, it was so bad. Like,
can you give me the rundown? What was it?
I literally can't even.
I couldn't possibly.
It's like there's a man named Chuck, and he's like running for mayor, and everyone sees his face around town. They're like, "That's just Chuck. We know him." Ha ha ha! And then the whole world starts collapsing, and all this crazy stuff is happening. And then we zoom out, and we learn that this entire universe just exists within this man named Chuck, and we have to learn his life story, and as he like grows through life, the world inside of him changes. It was such fucking pedantic bullshit. It was awful.
Oh my god,
it was awful.
I remember seeing awful. I got a ton of promo for it a couple of months ago, and I remember it very vividly, and I was so confused about what it was.
He also
I do know that.
About maybe doing next month. But yeah, so he's dipped his toes into the Stephen King waters with quite mixed results, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. I do.
Wants to do it. There's no real evidence that this is happening, as far as I could find.
Yeah, we'll see. It's like a long shot, like production sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. His Netflix stuff is so good that, I mean, it makes me really hopeful for any Stephen King stuff that he's going to be adapting. But that is really unsettling about the life of Chuck, I have to admit.
Maybe they just like needed a movie to tank on purpose for tax reasons, and he was like doing someone a favor or something.
Yeah, every now and then you see one of those pop up.
The kid from Room, what's his name? Jacob Tremblay, young actor Jacob Tremblay was in it, and it was just, it was not a good film. I have been shooting with my heart, and I have not forgotten the face of my mother, that's for sure. And she's here to host Chocolate or Vanilla, her interim podcast segment where she says two things. We all just say which one we like better. I'm going to say the order of speaking because there are 4 people. Jen will ask the question. I'm Dara. I'll answer first, then Emily, then Henry, then Jen. Jen, A, how are you? B, is there a theme this week?
I am good. So tonight will not be chocolate or vanilla. It will be chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. All of them are 3s.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm honored.
Yeah. And I think you'll continue to be honored because it's a food versus a song versus a video game.
Oh boy.
Guess,
oh my God.
Guess who inspired me?
Wow.
My boy Henry.
Good Lord. Thank you, Jen. Wow.
But it's going to be always a food versus a song versus a video game.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
We're crossing different planes and mediums.
It's
exactly.
Like, how shall I compare, a spaghetti to a Baldur's Gate? Like, I'm going to have to really
have to see.
Think on a higher level.
This is going to be a really elevated chocolate or vanilla. This is going to be pretty intellectual, pretty heady.
This is like a mental Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
All right. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Strawberry.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go strawberry also.
Why not?
Damn. Okay, Strawberry Hank.
We call him Strawberry Hank.
Classic.
All right, first one. Thick Cut Bacon. In the Mood by Glenn Miller. Or Elden's Ring.
Okay. It is not plural. It's just one Elden Ring. But I feel like this is obvious to me, and it's Thick Cut Bacon.
I don't know. In the Mood by Glenn Miller's really throwing me off here. I think I'm gonna have to. I can get by with a low quality bacon. So I think I'm gonna axe I'm gonna axe that. I've never played Elden Ring. I think
that microwave shit. You get that pre-cooked microwave shit. You sicko. I bet. Bacon? No, you said you can deal with shitty bacon, like that level of shitty.
Not that level of shitty. I have some self-respect, but the ones that are just full of water and it cooks off and it's just teeny tiny.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's why you buy the thick cut, because they don't pump it full of water.
I can deal with it. But I think In the Moods was very formative to me, so I'm gonna have to do my due diligence and salute her today.
Okay, yeah, that one is an easy one on drums, I gotta say, for the early game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you just get to ride it.
So, I think, so first of all, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this transcendent chocolate or vanilla, right? We're breaking new ground. But also, so I think we have to find a common metric. That's going to be my strategy going forward on this. So I think what I'm going to try to say here is, in terms of initial buy-in versus how much time I'm spending enjoying this thing, right? In the Mood probably lasts for 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. Thick Cut Bacon, and you probably, you just get that for free with your Apple Music subscription or your Spotify, so you don't even have to buy anything. Thick Cut Bacon, I got to go to the store, which is not a bad thing. Bacon doesn't take that long to cook, and then I'm eating it for again, 3 minutes max.
Why are you limiting In the Mood to the one play, Henry?
That's what I'm saying.
Put that on loop.
How much time has that song occupied in your whole life? Probably a lot.
A lot.
Less than Elden Ring, though. That's for fucking sure.
Well, so that's what I'm going to say next, right? So $60 will get you, 400 plus hours of entertainment. That's the deal you can't pass up. I think Elden Ring, that's the money move. I think Elden Ring is the clear winner here.
Use promo code SWAMP for your free Elden Ring.
Kickstart your business.
The new spin-off of Elden Ring, where there are more.
Jen, you're going to have to tip the scales on this one.
Well, Henry, using your logic, you're going to pick all the video games because they are time-wise more intensive to you than the other ones.
Well,
but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. I will pick In the Mood because I listened to it after I put it down and I was like, yeah, this checks. All right.
That's a heater.
right from the jump too. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't hold back.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is Beef Shawarma versus Steely Dan Hey 19 versus Baldur's Gate.
Ooh, okay. I'm going the Hank route. Bang for my buck. I've been loving Baldur's Gate, so. But I do rock with the beef shawarma though. This is a tough. This is the tough one, but
this is cracking me up. Oh my god.
I was gonna say, wait, Dara, are you locking in Baldur's?
Oh yeah, I've been locking in. As Henry said, 400 plus hours of entertainment for only $60. Use promo code SWAMP. No, there's no promo code. I fucking wish.
I think I'm gonna have to. I'll lock in Steely Dan. Yeah.
Okay, so Hey 19 specifically too. Like the cool song, like questionable lyrics. Don't read too much into that. I also got to pick Baldur's Gate 3. That's a hell of a game of the year. Good lord.
All right, I'm gonna go with Hey 19. Next one is Teriyaki Wings versus Earth, Wind, and Fire September versus Super Smash Bros.
Oh. Tough. Earth, Wind, and Fire is putting up a tough fight, but I am going to pick Super Smash Bros. A teriyaki wing's not what I want on a wing. No, if I'm putting my wing in a sticky sauce, teriyaki's ranking low for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty anti most wings that are other than buffalo. Teriyaki, I agree, sits very low on my totem pole. What was this? September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, unfortunately, has just passed that threshold where it's just all a meme to me. And I feel like I'm not fully able to enjoy the song the way that it was intended. But I can still enjoy Super Smash Bros. The way God intended that. So I'm going to pick Smash Bros.
The way God Nintendo'd Nintendo into Super Smash.
Yeah, I think I'll round it out. Also say Super Smash Bros. Like just a foundational game for me for sure.
All right, I think we're gonna sweep because we spent many hours Super Smash Broing at our house.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was on the Wii, though, which, wasn't a ton of transferable skills once we all kind of plateaued out with the Switch now, but I didn't grow up using a controller with two things. I grew up fucking waving my arm around. I still play Mario Kart like a little bitch with motion controls on. It's so embarrassing. If you're going to be moving the remote, the Switch, you can just turn the motion controls on. You can go Wii mode like a little bitch.
I'm nice about it. Nice.
You are nice about it. But I feel it's embarrassing. Everyone else has thumb dexterity, and I have to use my elbows. I have elbow.
Okay, next one is Chicken Parm versus Stevie Wonder, the whole album, Songs in the Key of Life.
I love that you give him the whole album.
Or Mario Kart.
Chicken Parm. I feel like this is the first time that the food, it's like, which one would I give up? It's like never Chicken Parm again or never Mario Kart again. I'd probably ditch Mario Kart.
Wow.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways to bread and fry meat that stack up a lot better than chicken parm. I'm gonna go Mario Kart.
So Jen, I feel very seen by these lists. By the way, you've got my number. I gotta say, I think Songs in the Key of Life has been in my like Apple Music end of year wrap up like every year for the past like 5 years or so. It's like I always am listening to it all the time. Like it's just it never gets old for me. Yeah, it's such a go-to for me. I like, and again, I think with your logic, Dara, like I could lose Chicken Parm and Mario Kart and still be happy because I've got that album. That's like I love that album.
So I'm going to pick the album too because Henry turned me on to that album and it is killer. It's really good.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. Next one, Tiramisu versus R.E.M. I Am Superman versus GTA.
Okay. Tiramisu for me, but I do, as like a video game bystander, I do love to watch somebody playing GTA. It's just like watching the most hilarious cop chase show, like, and the music is always so fire, and you're like, I'm stealing a helicopter. Like, I couldn't get into playing it. I don't like feeling chased like that, but I do like to watch other people play GTA. But I'm gonna rock with Tiramisu.
This is really tough. I'm split on the Tiramisu and the GTA.
REM, we can lose the REM part of this discussion.
In front of your mother, you're saying that? Wow. Yeah. We're going to talk after we're done recording.
I'm going to go that room.
Yeah.
I think I'll go GTA. I feel like that was very formative for me. I didn't play a lot of video games growing up, and like I never played Minecraft because it felt very overwhelming in the space you could create.
But you weren't overwhelmed by GTA?
Yes. No, because it felt like controlled chaos almost. I loved it. Yeah, I'll go GTA.
GTA was always like a forbidden game because my parents were like, "That's like it's too like violent." They
because there are like strippers.
That. Yeah,
you can murder a stripper. Like.
I think GTA is the winner on this list for me. I'm a big GTA fan.
Well, I think you're all wrong, and I am Superman, and I can do anything.
Yeah, you can.
Next one is Guinness beef stew versus Jack Johnson banana pancakes versus Helldivers.
Oh, Helldivers is also one that I like to spectate. I like to watch Henry play that one. It's like well designed. I like the colors. I don't really Jack Johnson. Sure, that song maybe is a little cringe. Maybe I'm going more for like the Curious George soundtrack kind of vibes. And then what was the food was also disappointing me.
A Guinness beef stew.
A Guinness beef. This is just a beef stew, and we're using Guinness to braise the meat in some way.
That is correct.
That sounds kind of nice right now. I'll pick that.
What? Okay, can someone tell me what the premise of Helldivers is? Because I've never heard of this.
Have you ever seen Starship Troopers? Do you know that movie?
No, that's one that I feel like we had on your list for a long time that we still haven't covered.
So like it's basically like it's like a whole like space fascism thing. Like it's like a big exaggerated universe where like what if the American Imperial Project was like extended out to like space battles and stuff.
Sure.
You know, and like it's all like it's a deeply like satirical thing. I don't know, but it's all about like these future space soldiers that drop down from space and they like kill bugs and robots and squids, all in the name of like making protecting Earth democracy. But you know, like the subtext is that it's fascism.
Sure. Okay. I'll go Jack Johnson then.
It's really nice.
Okay.
Like got pretty colors.
Yeah, I think I've had my dose of American fascism lately.
Yeah. It's like
I could really switch gears into Jack Johnson right now, so I'm gonna go banana pancake.
Yeah. Nice.
I would 100% get that. Like it's like it's too real, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like I'm trying to escape right now, you know. I'm not trying to like see it,
right.
You know?
I like sometimes like I love Veep, but watching Veep is really hard because every day I see headlines that I'm like I can't. I'm not. This can't be real.
I had the same trouble with Succession, funnily enough, where I was just like I couldn't stand to see like those people do anything, you know. It's just like I
can understand that.
That's probably a show I would have really liked, but I just couldn't like.
You're like, I only have so much free time, you know? I
Yeah.
can't be feeling
Exactly.
like day off.
Right, yeah, I can't be devoting like mental energy to that.
Yeah, it's between like that and Severance, and you really it's
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go Helldivers. Helldivers is awesome. It's really, really good. Gotta say Helldivers.
Nice. I'm going to go Guinness beef stew, and shout out to my sister who doesn't like Guinness. Not a big meat and potatoes girl, but man, she likes Guinness beef stew for some reason. Next one is chicken tikka masala, or tequila by the Champs, or cyberpunk.
This game is awesome.
I'm gonna go with chicken tikka masala. Cyberpunk also fun to watch. That one's cool. Keanu Reeves.
Cyber arm under my sleeve.
Exactly. But what was it? The song? What?
Tequila. Tequila.
Yeah, I can maybe go with that one.
I'm gonna go tikka masala as well. I feel like on any level, either like the best tikka masala I've ever had, down to like Trader Joe's like frozen tikka masala. I'm never dissatisfied.
So Cyberpunk really, really good. I think it got it had a bad release, but then they caught up with some updates. They're doing good now. But I think I also got to say chicken tikka masala. Like, oof, what else am I going to eat? Come on.
This is the first time we're ever getting like gamer commentary on the Swamp. Do you think anyone in the audience cares at all? I really wonder.
Who out there has been really craving this for the last 4
That's
years?
up to the game. Hey, there might be some gamers.
You bring me on. You're getting the inside scoop.
No, I'm glad to have it.
I'm gonna go with tequila because chicken tikka masala too spicy, and it always has peas in it, right?
Spicy, Jen. Also, no.
What are you talking about?
There are never. Okay, both of those things are not true. There's
Not true.
There's never peas in it.
You are thinking of something else entirely, miss.
What is a different dish?
Well, I'm still gonna pick tequila. So that is it for things that I thought Henry would like.
And you were correct.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, Jen. And we got #Gamer Corner, which is going to be a new segment.
Welcome to the Gamer Corner.
Jen, I have not forgotten your face, and I never will. And we'll see you next
long.
week.
I miss you guys. I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
I know we gotta hang.
Miss you too, Jen.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys and have an awesome night.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Love you, Jen. Speaking of bad films, yeah, this one was just I don't even know where do you start, where do you end? I mean, the whole thing was really horrible.
So we were talking about our Demon Hunter double feature. So I was like,
Sure.
we came back from the movies. I think we tried to start watching it at like 7:45, like 8 o'clock.
And you were so sleepy.
Yeah, I get up so early. Like I'm just like, I'm asleep by 9 o'clock, whether I like it or not. But in my half-baked, extremely sleepy state, I do have a couple of notes that I just want to repeat to you guys right now.
Please,
I think as an overview of the 30 minutes of the movie that we got through.
And then I finished it, and then Henry watched it again today.
Yes,
of
of
course. Doubled down.
Yeah, I'm really, those first 30 minutes are really locked in for me.
Because that story kind of makes it sound like I don't have movie stamina, and I just let the record be shown that I did watch 2 movies back to back yesterday.
Yeah.
Dara does have movie stamina. She's a known stayer up later. She's not sleepy at all. So the notes are as follows, and there's 7 of them here. Sending your schizo child away to bang lawn.
Oh my god, Henry, we can't say that. Yeah, that is the case. He wanted to hit so bad. He was like, please just leave the apartment so I can fuck your mom.
Yeah.
Please. Join chess club.
New York.
Just leave the house for an hour in the afternoon.
Just go draw the library. I don't fucking care.
I need 2 days. You need to go away for 2 days to a camp where they scan your brain so I can fuck your mom. Lon is a bad guy.
Ron.
When Matthew McConaughey tells him to stop breathing, I'm like, yeah, Don't do that anymore. That's no more.
No, I wasn't mad. I also was not Matthew McConaughey wise. I wasn't mad at his stop breathing bit. I did find that really cunty.
When he walks by that child and says, hate, and then her eyes turn black.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, cunty is the word for that. It's popping. Another one here, New York Magic, popping up on opposite side of train. Maybe some context for that. Jake just like teleports to the other side of the train tracks.
He runs down into a subway station to run away from the people who are chasing him. And then in the chase sequence, he runs up the other side of the stairs on the opposite side of the street, which that's not how trains work. You'd have to cross the tracks for that. Okay, so if you go down on one side of the street, that means the trains are going in one direction. And then the other side of the street, the trains are going the opposite direction.
That was just like,
So yeah, it just in a snap, he just ran up the other side. The Magics. Well, it was the Magics.
They resolved that chase scene by going like, "Oh, it's New York over here."
Yeah,
you gotta get a
hides behind a Sabret's hot dog car.
It's no problem, pal.
He's local.
That's my old hood.
Oh, from when he posts on Reddit.
Yeah, he goes on Reddit. That's my old hood. Shouts out. I wrote down Matthew is chewing. And I think I meant that Matthew McConaughey is chewing the scenery because he was chewing. He was being super cunty.
Yeah.
And time enough at last. Oh, so that, right. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Twilight Zone episode where the guy, he's in like frozen time and like he finally has time enough to read all of his books, but then his glasses break. It's like, he's trapped. This is like when the child when Jake finally gets abducted or he gets like taken away, and he's like finally out of the house. But then the mom is too sad to bang.
Timing up.
My Gilbert's
so true. Led the scene, and she's too stressed because she has to file a missing person report on her son. And Lonnie is like, I have been so hard for the past 6 days.
Don't start feeling bad for Lon. Hard for the past 6 days. Come on, pal.
Seek out medical help.
Yeah, truly.
I want
to get Lon a flashlight.
Yeah, that would have solved all the problems of this movie.
So, jump in, with additional information on this, but in a personal interest, as to imagine what realistically would a first book of the Dark Tower series, The Gunslinger, like if you were doing, we just got to do book one. That's, movie one, TV series one, what have you. But it's just like, we're just doing book one. What would that look like? So I read the Wikipedia summary, and you've told me a fair amount about it. And I was quite shocked to learn that the Jake character is just like quite fleeting and not that integral to the whole story of the Dark Tower.
So I will stop you there. Like he dies in the first book, but he comes back in a major way. Like he's pretty much. I think he's back in the second book. Like
hashtag spoilers for the Dark Tower.
He's like his. It's like there's a parallel universe thing going on. There's like he dies
because he dies in the first book is what I'm saying, because I didn't realize that he was going to come back in a major way, but he dies in the first book because he basically links up with Roland in the desert. He died on Earth. He got pushed in front of a subway, in front of a car, right. In the street, and he gets hit by a car and he dies on Earth, on Keystone Earth. That bitch is dead.
That's what allows him to come through into Midworld, into Roland's world.
That is just so much more to the point and interesting than the first like half of this movie that we get, where it's like, the therapists are coming to take him to the camp and he's having the dreams, and are the dreams real? Yes, we're confirming the dreams are real. He has to find the house. Like, have him just get hit by a car and he wakes up in the desert, and he's like, we get one flashback of him being like, Mom, you never believed me about my dreams about the man in the desert or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Hat Man.
That could have been, about the Hat Man. Like, that really could have all been maybe the first 4 minutes of this film, right? And then we get him, and he can link up with Roland, which is what we really want to see, is Idris Elba doing cool shit, right? Yeah. Like, that whole thing could have just been taken care of if they had just done what happens in the book. But then also what apparently happens in the first book is that he dies at the end, and Roland kind of like lets him die, right? Like Roland lets him fall to his death.
He has to choose between pursuing the Man in Black or saving Jake, and he chooses pursuing the Man in Black.
Damn, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Makes the gunslinger a much more intriguing and interesting character to me. That would maybe perhaps prompt me to see a second film, right? If you're starting your movie series, like now Idris Elba's really deep and complex, and what's gonna happen fucking next? Because
yeah, I'm just not attached to like Jake as a main character. You know, because that's how I'm presented it, you know, that it's a YA thing. Watching this as a 26-year-old woman, I'm like, I don't care. And I understand they were probably trying to tack on to the YA assance that was like 2012 to 2017, I guess.
Yeah, they're on the tail end of it. They could have just...
Exactly. 17 is pushing it even.
So I forget which book kind of aligns with which story event, but I think like what you're describing there in book 1, Jake dies and comes to Midworld and then dies in Midworld. Like that. So basically imagine we skipped that, and that's where this movie kind of starts from second Jake's POV. So like this movie picks up with second Jake, who is having these visions. In the books, his visions are a lot more dramatic because he sees his own death. And he's like, a lot of his struggle is living with there's a reality and then an unreality. And like, he's like, he has to, and it's the reason that there's the dissociative identity, civil rights lady is because she's also living in multiple realities. That's like she has like a mental condition that causes this. Jake has like this spiritual,
shining situation.
Right.
Yeah.
That causes him to see, all possibilities and all things at once, and death is included in that. So it's like,
and that would have been way too much to tackle.
Right, you can't
with
do that.
what they're doing here.
Well, 90 minutes.
Yeah, you just can't. I want it. You need a TV show Honestly, I think the initial thing, 3 movies, 2 TV shows. I'm now kind of thinking you could do 5 TV shows. Even on either end of the first and third movies.
Because one would be a flash, however the flashbacks work.
I mean, it really needs as much screen time as possible. These 7 books are dense.
Disney says that they need young male audiences right now. They're saying that the Star Wars stuff isn't retaining, it's all the millennials. They need Gen Z, because that's where purchasing power is young men. And they're like, how do we get the attention of young men? And they were like looking for pitches. Bitch, it was right there.
Right there.
Actually, you know what I pitch? I just finished this book today, and it left on a little cliffhanger that's going to make me read the rest of the series, which I think there are 7 of, actually.
What was it called?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's like RPG. It's like the genre is called lit RPG, so it's like literature about like RPG systems. So like Dungeons and Dragons, think it's like when humans get stat blocks, basically. But I feel like this would be the perfect thing for like a TV series for young men, and it bases off of like D&D mechanics. So I feel like you could ride that hype of people who this is also probably more of a pitch for millennials, though. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, yeah, I don't know shit. What do Gen Z men want? Couldn't tell you. I'm at a board meeting at Disney.
Yeah. Let us know if you figure it out.
The Dark Tower. So the thing that I think really neutered this is that it's PG-13, because there just seem to be some things like specifically guns, right? Like, is there only so much we can do with guns that's in a PG-13 way? Like, I don't know the exact litigation on what, the one fuck rule or what have you.
Sure.
But I feel like there's definitely a way to make a successful action-adventure sci-fi movie that is PG-13.
Absolutely.
I just think this movie, maybe just because it's Stephen King, I don't know, or also just it's trying to also be scary, which I don't really think it's like there are few and far between successful PG-13 horror movies. Like those are, you're meant to laugh at them because they're funny.
Yeah.
It's like
I think this one was also trying to be a few too many things. I think that, The Shining and some of the other Stephen King stuff that sort of gets into this shining element, I guess. like it's very contained and you don't have like these other worlds and everything, which is also obviously why this one is so interesting, because it is, you know, a gigantic picture that he's painting here, but it is
the genre is sci-fi, western, adventure.
Exactly. Yes.
Horror,
Thank you.
Like we're doing too many genres at once.
Way too many.
I think pick one and lean into it. It should have just been a western with sci-fi elements.
Exactly, because I was looking at you texted me and was like, I want to know if you think that, like, what was it, like there can be like successful PG-13 movies, and there's tons. I mean, I came up with a heap of movies in my list, but it all very much, it feels like it sits in one category almost.
Yeah, it's all either like superhero movies, you know, major, like, you know, like the Bourne Identity, you know, like those kinds of movies. Like that's
even the Bond movies are technically PG-13,
right? And like
which is crazy.
The gun violence, you know, and again, it's just like it's so disappointing to be familiar with the books and to know like all of the various descriptions of the violence is so graphic. When Roland shoots somebody with a gun, he
shoots with his heart.
He shoots with his heart and he blows jaws off. And it's like, and we hear about all of the teeth that happen, you know, like every detail is described.
He makes their skull mist, dude.
Yes. Like, and it's brutal. He loses, there's hand gore. He loses fingers to lobstrosities. There's, we're missing out. The PG-13 rating and all of the various, you know, like script cuts and stuff like that, lost us to lobstrosities. They lost us slow mutants that live in the mountain. I don't know why
slow zombies.
I mean, they're like, they move at a pretty normal speed.
Why are they slow?
I don't know. They're like irradiated people.
Sure.
And they like eat other people. I don't know. But that's where Jake dies, in the mountain. And it's like the tension is that there's slow mutants around. Like, slow mutants, I don't know what's going on there.
Sure.
It was the 80s. I don't know. But so like I can read off I looked at the Wikipedia page, every single reference in here, and it's like, so these books were written across 22 years. And so like they encompass, like, each new book brings in different elements from the most recent books that Stephen King had written. So
that also makes sense with the whole like meta world building of it. That's really interesting.
The story of the Dark Tower is about like in the subtext a lot of the time is about like the writing process, and it's about how like it's about Stephen King's journey with writing. Stephen King is a character in the books. Like they go to Keystone Earth and Jake dies. Jake dies again and again. So you're not going to read the books. Fuck you. Hey, you're not going to read the books.
No. Absolutely not. No, tell me. No.
Jake dies again, saving Stephen King from a car accident. And Stephen King, so in real life, Stephen King almost died in a car accident. And when he was recovering on painkillers, he was like writing more of these books. Like, so it's people have accused this series, especially in the latter half, of being super self-indulgent and kind of tough to get through and super meta. And I definitely I hear that criticism because it is super self-indulgent, you know, putting your first and last name in but like literally into your own story.
I think Stephen King's kind of allowed to be self-indulgent. He's
I do agree with you there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That guy kind of wrong.
I'm like, you guys are the ones reading it. He could just be doing this for himself and not give a single shit if it sells, and it doesn't matter.
The latter half of the series too, he's like, you're on book 6, you love my ass.
Oh yeah, dude.
Exactly. You're gonna let me get away with it. Yeah. And you're gonna like it.
I said yes, Daddy. I said thank you. But so here's every book that's referenced in there. We have It. It is a really cool reference in there. It's like this. It's another creature that's similar to Pennywise, except he like feeds off of laughter instead of fear. It's awesome. He's
in the book series.
Yes, in the book series.
Okay,
in the book series. This is all from the books. All the books here.
So we get It tends. Also, isn't all Stephen King books are like on the back of a turtle?
Yeah,
is the universe? The universe is a turtle.
Behold the turtle of enormous girth. On his back, he holds the earth.
Yeah,
he's so cool.
Yeah.
So we have there's a guy from It, The Stand. I think it features like the super flu. If I'm not mistaken, the super flu is part of the apocalypse that destroys Nolan's world or
Christopher Nolan.
Roland's world, Salem's Lot. There's the pastor character, Father something or other, Father Callahan, is a main character. He's one of the gunslingers at one point. He's like the main character of Salem's Lot. We have Insomnia, Hearts in Atlantis, Black House, The Eyes of the Dragon, and The Shining, and Cell. So it's just like and. There's another really, really great YouTube video I do have to shout out because it
link in the description below.
Truly, if you want to see, it doesn't explain the story of the Dark Tower. It just explains every reference in the timeline. It's a 7-minute video. I really recommend watching it because it's really artfully done.
World building explaining.
It's all it's doing is explaining the references and the timeline of the books that were written and the way that they connect to each other.
That's cool.
So it's Understanding the Dark Tower Universe by James Van Fleet.
Okay.
Super, like I can't recommend it enough. Say it's really worth 7 minutes of your time because it's a really it's like an animated thing. He's doing a cool thing.
If you're a Stephen King head and you want to know how all of these fringe books you probably haven't read are connected, click the link in the description below to learn more.
I learned a lot in a short amount of time. It really was remarkable.
Yeah, wait. So speaking of this, I mean, like watching the movie, of course, I was shocked to see how much of like The Shining came back through. How much more of that do you get in the book series, and like how much more does it like enlighten the rest of sort of Stephen King's works, like Carrie and like The Shining or Doctor Sleep and all that?
Bitch,
The Green Mile, yes, everything else
of them all, perhaps.
Girl, I never finished watching that one after the dry electrocution, so
pussy.
and that's fair.
Oh my god. Like that is another. So all of those various references, the reason that they're significant in the books is that they are indicative of what's happening in Stephen King's career at that time. But trying to put it into 90 minutes, all we get is like, at the beginning, there's twins and they're girls who have like the headband on. So they look like twins.
Wait, you're saying they like added Easter eggs in the movie to be like, and this is also a Stephen King joint if you didn't know.
all it is just
for the casual viewer who may not know, we're going to do some references. That's terrible.
The entire vibe of this movie is like a kid who did not read the book, but looked at the Spark Notes and was like trying to prove that he read the book. It's like we know the Gunslinger's Oath. We got that down pat. Roland's world has moved on. Like anytime where you feel like the characters in the book are like quoting something, they're quoting like directly from the book.
When you're like, wait, why is this dialogue kind of good? Damn. And it's like, because that was right from the book.
Yeah, written by Mr. Man.
Yeah, there's some poetry going on here. Like, what is this? It's like,
he was cooking.
This guy, this guy was doing peyote trying to recover from a car accident. He was on mescaline. He wasn't media rights capital. He had a more of a vision.
So obviously we don't get it in the movie, but like in the books, you went through all of them, right? Audible style. Yeah. Do we ever get like anything like really substantial, like telling us like an explanation?
Well, so this is something that's cool. So kind of, the ending is definite. The whole story is based off of a Robert Browning poem. Let me see here. It's
like, Roland cometh to the Dark Tower or whatever.
Child Roland to the Dark Tower came.
It's like an epic poem, right?
Yeah, Child Roland is a quote from King Lear, the Shakespeare play. And that's another one, like King Lear is quoted all that is like a theme that is happening in the Dark Tower series.
It's also feeling very like King Arthur.
Yeah. There's a character called Cordelia that's like his main love interest. There's a lot of that stuff going on. But that poem, the broad strokes of that poem follow the series story. Like the beats of the series is based off that poem.
That's pretty cool.
So in the poem, there's a guy who is basically like he goes down this path because this crippled man with he has a malicious eye, is what they say, is the quote from the poem. He sends him on a bad path to the Dark Tower. There's like implication in the poem that this main character Roland has, like, he used to travel with a band of like knights who were also seeking the Dark Tower, but his obsession with the Dark Tower caused them to split off. There's a character that one of the names of those people is Cuthbert, who is another one of, like, that's another named character in the book. Cuthbert. He's really important.
Sure.
A dope name for a fat cat.
So there's he goes through a wasteland, which I think book 3 is called Wastelands.
Sure.
It's like, that there's parallels there. He goes through a mountain. And in book 1, he also goes through a mountain.
How long is this poem?
It's like 30 stanzas or something like that. It's pretty long. But the end of the poem, though, ends with Roland just arriving to the Dark Tower, and the final line of the poem is, "Child Roland to the Dark Tower came," and then that's it. We don't see we don't know why he was seeking it at all. He just arrives, and that's it.
Sure.
So at the end of the books, and shouts out, you made it this far, 58 minutes in of me just yapping on about the books were better than the movie. They were better.
Well, the movie's honestly not worth talking about, so we had to talk about the
yeah.
And the books are worth talking about.
That's why I called him my expert witness today.
Yeah, sorry, you said my special interest at the time. So the end of the story, and this is after Stephen King is saved by one of the characters, right? At this point, we are totally self-referential, super meta.
And we're out of the woods as far as addiction.
We're 2004. We're healthy. So the Crimson King
got
is
that 5-year chip.
Exactly. Yeah. And God bless him. So the Crimson King is killed.
That's the Hat Man?
No. So Walter, right, is the Hat Man.
Yeah.
He's killed by Roland's
the Spider Baby.
Spider Baby, right?
The Crimson King is even more evil guy?
So before we even get there, I will say the Demon Slayer parallels are still happening because the Spider Baby, like, uses the power of the voice to, like, make Walter kill himself.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it's giving Dune. The Spider Baby transfusing through a fax machine is kind of giving Dune.
Yes, it's super Dune. When did Dune come out? I don't know.
80s?
80s, yeah. But at the end of the book, the Crimson King is killed by a guy drawing his picture and then erasing it.
Oh,
and, like,
so it is all about the drawing.
Well, this guy has this guy has the superpower that he can, like, he can manipulate reality. This is another guy we meet. Very cool. He can erase stuff.
He has the Death Note book, and he just writes.
Pretty much. He writes Crimson Chin in his Death Note. And then Roland then ascends the Dark Tower, and he sees that it's just basically his story played out. And it's like all these, like, images and vignettes as he climbs up the tower of his entire life. And at this point, Roland is like 400 years old, right? He's of
course.
Yeah, right. Another detail we would never know from watching that movie.
But he's like Viggo Mortensen in fucking Lord of the Rings. He's like, I'm 80, but I'm hot.
Yeah, he's long.
Yeah.
Well, at this point in the story, Roland is described as being like a sickly old man. Like
nice.
Roland looks like a
They would never do that to Idris Elba. They're like, no.
So 400-year-old Roland goes up the tower and he sees his entire life, like, laid out before him. Like, he sees like picture frames with, like, vignettes of his life. And then when he gets up to the front, or when he gets up to the top of the tower, the more that he's remembering that he's done this before. And the end of the story is that
Memento
is that he goes back up to the top of the tower and he's like, no. And then he's forced to go back into the desert, lose all of his memories, and begin the story anew, chasing the man in black across the desert. So, like, it's what I take from that is that it's about the writing process, and it's about how even after you complete your magnum opus, what Stephen King describes as his magnum opus.
Yeah, you still just got to get out there in that desert.
You have to, like, all of a sudden you are back.
Chase the Hat Man.
Exactly.
So
all of a sudden you are back in a place where you don't have a story and you got to find one. You're in the desert. You got to chase the Hat Man.
Jesus. Yeah, and that's what we do every week, logging on and recording the swamp.
I get my ass thrown out into the desert, and then I forget everything I ever knew.
You have 30 days of temptation.
Wow, that's crazy. That's way more intriguing than anything this movie had to offer. Honestly, it wasn't even like so bad it's fun to watch. It was just like kind of like,
it was
like sad and confusing and like, oh damn, I bet this was kind of cool at one point.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
I also thought that kid actor they got was a real snooze.
Nothing special.
He was trying his best.
I guess so, and he didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's anybody's fault, it's not the actors. I'll say, like, Idris Elba was just kind of smoldering.
They were making the most of what they were given.
That's all right.
He was being paid to mog. It's fine.
It's what he does best.
Exactly.
But if you were having a Dark Tower party, probably it should be a book club party where you've all read the books and you're going to talk about the books, because this movie is not really worth hosting your friends for. But let's just say you're going to hate watch the movie together. What are you going to serve as your food and drink? I think you should have a seafood boil, and I think you should dump out it all on your table, like on a tarp, and all of you should have your seafood boil while you watch this movie, because that's the only way that's going to make this experience redeemable for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't have a very good answer for this. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I made some brown butter cookies recently with the recipe that Dara sent me for a party, and those were so good that I think I could get through the movie if I had a plate of those in front of me. So I'm gonna.
Did you bang the tray?
Did I what?
Did you
bang the tray? I did.
Nice, dude.
Nice. That's the most key part to making cookies is you gotta slam the tray down on the rack to deflate.
You are the expert.
Because I want a nice flat, like a wide cookie that is both crunchy at the same time. It's achieving ideal cookie texture. You gotta bang the pan.
Yeah, that and I think the cookies and some lemonade. Personally, I'm a cookies and lemonade kind of girl.
And like put on one of those little pinwheel hats, because this movie's gonna talk to me like I'm fucking stupid.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go baby mode with this. What about you, Hank?
I would do a pull from the books. I would have water out of a water skin, and then I would have gunslinger burritos, which is just rabbit. It's like dried rabbit meat wrapped in a leaf, and it's like But dude, when they describe like the shits that they take, they like they're squeezing out hard dehydrated shits on the road. Like
God.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live the book.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remain faithful in my adaptation.
Get the real gunslinger experience.
Unlike media rights capital, those fucks.
Have you ever had rabbit?
Yeah, no, I think I have. Yeah, no, like at a fancy tapas restaurant, I think I've had.
Or like in a ragu, I bet you have a rabbit ragu. That's pretty popular, like a fancy Italian restaurant.
I think I've had rabbit before. It was. I don't think it was super.
It's not super memorable. Yeah, the times I've had it, I also was kind of like I was not stricken by that.
Yeah, it's like very fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like all right. Yeah.
Oh wait, we forgot to play Fuck, Marry, Kill. Fuck, Marry,
Kill. There's no one that I wanna. There's no one in this movie that I wanna.
Idris Elba and the sad mom. I'm gonna kill the sad mom.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you kill the sad mom? Do you stop breathing?
Stop
crying and stop breathing.
I'm gonna marry the man in black. I'm gonna marry Matthew McConaughey, because I'm gonna be like, maybe what are we doing taking down the tower, or why can't we just use our orbs for like some other stuff, and then I'll fuck the gunslinger.
I don't want to marry Matthew McConaughey. That's the thing. But I also don't want to marry the gunslinger.
Truer words have never been spoken, sister.
Then you can marry the mom. You can be the dad who speaks up, and you can be like, "Hey, those drums are pretty cool. You should like try graphic novels or something." Be supportive.
I don't want her either.
Dang it.
I'll oh God. Can I marry the gunslinger for like tax purposes, and then I'm just gonna let him go off and do his thing?
He's so broke. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, he has that silver piece, dude. He's got like a bunch of like,
right.
He's got a bunch of
one coin.
Arthurian coins, dude. He's like,
no. Unfortunately, I don't feel like I could trust the man in black, so I can't go into a relationship with him.
What about when they pull off the side to the village and they're like, we have to see the mystic seer, and they're like, it's the only Asian woman here, and then they take him over to her, and she is like, we can speak in each other's minds. She was pretty hot.
She was hot, but yeah, I guess I'm
situation was happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kill the mom. I'm gonna fuck Matthew McConaughey, and then I guess I'll marry the gunslinger. Sure.
So I think I'm gonna fuck Matthew McConaughey to learn his magics. I'm gonna fuck his magics out.
His orbs. You're gonna match an orb.
I'm gonna leave with Black 13. I'm leaving with that orb. I think I'm gonna be the dad that steps up for Jake Chambers. I think I'm gonna marry that poor lady. She's been through enough, you know. She was married to a cop and she survived. So like
that's also true.
Your dad was a cop?
Yeah, he had like a police uniform.
Was he a firefighter?
Well, okay, I rescind that statement if he was a firefighter, but
I think he was a firefighter because he died in a fire, right? It wasn't that he was trying to save like.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Fire and darkness. No, yeah, I think you're right, actually. Well,
but anyways,
well, the firefighters are fine. Let me make my statement clear.
Let me rescind.
Regardless, I would be the dad that stepped up.
Firefighters don't kill 5 dogs a day or 5 dogs an hour or whatever that crazy statistic is. Just Google how many dogs get killed every day by police officers.
It's more than you think.
It's like on an hourly basis. The statistic is like 13 an hour.
Jesus fuck.
And then I would kill Roland to end his perpetual. End his perpetual.
That's very kind of you. I do think that's the right answer.
But I was like, that doesn't seem productive because evil will always prevail.
Well, no, the thing is so I am kind of cheating because I'm learning his magic to defeat him. I think my role here is I'm gonna fuck Walter O'Dim, and then I'm gonna like learn his magics and then become Roland.
Right.
And then chase him across the desert. I'll kind of like fill in that role, but I'll still be like there for the weekends for like Jake's mom and stuff.
Yes. So it is still more of a stepdad situation, but that's okay.
Well, like I'm getting it on the side with Jake's mom, you know. I'm doing what Lon could never do, and I'm threading the needle, and I'm having it all in New York City.
And then to follow this movie up, I think the only way that I would find this to be redeemable is like this movie's just lubing me up for some fucking gun kata, man. All I want is to see people do fucking cool shit with guns because they say, this is our main hero, the gunslinger. And you know how many times he does something cool with a gun in this movie? Like once. He loads the bullets like when he does his little spinny trick into the chamber. That was pretty cool. Otherwise, the trick shot at the end, not even cool. He just like doing the 2-gun shoot. It was nothing special. It was like your standard action movie fare. It was leaving me dry and wanting gun action. So I think you should watch Equilibrium.
I love that. I love that pick.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
I think I'm gonna go Dr. Sleep personally. I really
I haven't seen it. Is it any good?
I thought we watched it together at one point, but yeah, it is genuinely very good. Ewan McGregor, of course. They put Rebecca Ferguson in the most fucked up outfit, and then make her make her scream in Jacob Tremblay's face. It's amazing, but it is genuinely very good, and it's sort of, you know, if we're on the topic of The Shining,
did Mike Flanagan make that movie too?
I think so.
He did.
I think so.
Jacob Tremblay, he seems to have
Mike Flanagan.
He's got
he does have his favorites. That is for sure.
I think I would go with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because I think that's like
a Western.
Let's watch some real gunslinging. That's like it's also one of the Clint Eastwood's character in that is the basis for Roland as well. Like it's a combination of the poem and that character. You know, watch a real fucking movie. You know.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
And thank you for not wasting your time and listening to the podcast this week. We're happy to return. We're just going to plow through and continue Stephen King month into October because we figured we had to skip this week because I was in the hospital and then we had to not release an episode and then it was like delayed or whatever. Anyways, no one cares. Thank you all for listening. Check out the YouTube videos and we have to rate the movie out of 10. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I do. Can I have like, you can maybe even put this in like, I don't know if you have a post credits, but like drop the swamp, some whack ass movie podcasting.
I know.
Like if I could do a Mark Zuckerberg, Justin Timberlake style moment here at the end of the podcast.
Sorry, hon.
Drop the.
I went to school for this.
She paid good money.
No one's saying I'm listening to Swamp. They'd be like, I'm listening to the Swamp.
Think about the balls of that branding, though, huh? That's
check out
branding.
this podcast. It's called Swamp. I guess maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe we'll do a full branding overhaul.
A rebrand. Yeah, we're gonna do the rebrand.
Finally get noticed.
Go back and re-record all of your episodes where you say the Swamp.
I was gonna say, yeah, all we can do now is rebrand and post the Philip Seymour Hoffman edits.
Hopefully, we should just go back and we should just redo all the episodes. is now what I'm probably
go back and
from the beginning.
Remaster them. Like
send it back. We're like Roland in the desert. I think we need to send it back to the beginning and try it and chase the Hat Man once again.
Just word for word, same line delivery. Yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie a 2. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think 2 is very fair.
Yeah. Fuck this thing. It's like a 1 or a 2.
I give it a 2 because I feel like 0 is like it deeply offended me to my core. 1 is like it was unwatchable, which this movie was, but like I do think Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey did something here, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, hope you all continue to chase the Hat Man off into the desert. Have a lovely rest of your week, and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.